Hey busy gamers, and welcome to Enhance Ephemeral Gaming, where I try to bring you the best games to fit into your schedule. I'm Adam, and today we're going to be doing another first look, this time on Vampire Survivors. If you've joined me for a first look before, and you know what you're in for, feel free to go ahead and just skip straight to the gameplay. If you're looking for the full review with the scores, I'll put that link in the show notes as soon as it's available. So, what's a first look? Basically, we're looking at a game to see if it grabs you immediately, if it makes you want more after you very first start. They're very important questions, and my goal for the channel is always to help you get the most out of your gaming time, so how a game starts can play a pretty big role in my final score in the reviews. So, join me as I bring you along on my first 30 minutes of gameplay, hear my live thoughts, reactions, and opinions. I'll even put a timer up in the top right hand corner of the screen to help keep myself honest. Once 30 minutes is over, I'm going to put the game down, and then I'm going to give you a short summary discussing what I thought was good, what was bad, and if I'm looking forward to continuing to play it as I work to build out the full review. Alright, so now we're on to the actual first look portion, and today we've got Vampire Survivors. This is a late October 2022 release, and it's got a classic arcade feel to it, with an old school look and kind of hordes of monsters that are always coming after you. Your only real goal is to survive about 30 minutes and collect your rewards. With roguelike elements and somewhat of a resogun type feel to the gameplay, which by the way is one of my old favorites, I'm ready to give it a go. Okay, just the nice classic screen here. This definitely looks like something I would have played on my Super Nintendo back in the day. I don't know anything about these power-ups, collections, or unlocks. It looks like I cannot afford anything anyway, which does make sense. So let's go ahead and just click start. So we have several characters here: Antonio, Imelda, Pascalina, Gennaro, and we cannot unlock any of them yet. So Antonio Belpiece gains 10% more damage every 10 levels, max of 50%. So I assume the max level is 50, and it looks like he has like a whip or something going on here. Just say confirm. Start. Okay. So I'm just kind of walking around here. I feel like I'm struggling a bit. Not necessarily because I'm not making any of these attacks. I am just walking around. Okay, so I have leveled up. I can have a magic wand that fires the nearest enemy. I can have a whip that fires an additional projectile, or a king Bible that orbits around me. Let's use something that kind of orbits around me. Okay, so it is just kind of... I didn't even see it until just there. Maybe I should actually be moving along a little more. I don't know what I'm really looking for. Ooh, a chicken. I think that healed me, actually. Okay, we've leveled up again. We can have another projectile on the whip. So I think we probably just want to level that up, right? I don't know. I'm struggling to aim. So one of the things I want to say here is I don't know if you can really tell what it looks like from my end versus your end, but this whip, it's not something that I am aiming. So like basically I'm just moving around, but I'm not triggering that. I don't think I realized that it was just gonna whip for me. Like I'm not actually hitting anything here. And so that is something that I'm having a little bit of trouble with. It basically just follows either my num key or my right mouse button here. So that's something I'm definitely struggling with. I find that it's maybe a little harder than I expected. So I'm going to find a treasure here. I would say harder and easier than I expected, I suppose. All right, we have found a treasure. It's 177 gold. And oh, we've leveled up our King Bible, which gives me another projectile. Oh, we've leveled up twice. I love this. Whip base damage up by 5, base speed up by 30, base area up by 25. We're definitely doing that. Oh, 100%. This is way better. Yeah, because I'm not doing a lot of aiming, I think one of the things that I need and want the most is just the ability to not have to aim, right? I'm just gonna bring all those Bibles out. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't foresee myself living that much longer based on all of that. Yeah, I'm dead already. I'm dead already. Game over. Okay. So I feel like I'm usually good at, I'm going to call it bullet hell type games, things where there's just a bunch of things on the screen. And I don't really know what I was expecting out of that. I survived a minute with any character. That's a new achievement. Just a whole minute gives me an unlock of a hollow heart. I guess I'm happy about that. I only survived 2 minutes and 16 seconds, earned 177 gold, reached level 4, and defended over 200 enemies. Now, my impressions from this very first thing, my very first piece here, was really just that I think I underestimated how the aiming was going to work and how the movement was going to work. It did not give me any tutorial whatsoever. I basically just walked around the map, but I started out using WASD keys, moved on to the mouse later, and I don't really know what's going to be the best way to do it. But since my main weapon basically just lashed out in front of me, I always had to turn to aim. But since I couldn't turn and then immediately trigger my own whip, that's actually where I struggled, because I could turn and then nothing would happen, right? It's not necessarily knocking on the game. It's definitely going to take some getting used to. This time, let's go ahead and click unlocks and see if there's something I can do. I have reached level... Oh, these are achievements. So we have done none of these things. Well, we've unlocked something. Unlocked 1 of 101. Hide completed? Oh, survive 1 minute with any character. Okay. I don't know what that actually does. It says I've unlocked a hollow heart, but I don't know what that does. Let's see what power-ups we've got. Power-up selection. Might raises inflicted damage by 5 per rank. Can't afford that. So I doubt I can... Oh yeah, I definitely can't afford any of this. So let's back out of that. Let's hit start again. See if we can afford any character. 10% more experience every 5 levels, max plus 30. And it has what looks like a staff. Projectiles get 10% faster every 5 levels. That seems better. Permanent +1 projectile to all 1 weapon. Okay, let's buy Imelda for 10 gold. I like the look of this little magey type character, and I didn't really love the whip. Let's start this again. We are clearly not going to make it through a 30-minute playtime here, so... But I'm already liking this a little bit better. She's just firing stuff off. She's weak, meaning those attacks don't seem to really do anything. But best case scenario here is that I don't have to aim them. I still like the idea of that, but I'm going to go with more projectiles for now. Because again, we're just kind of moving through this. I think these little gems are my experience. Downside being now that she's going up and down. So there's good and bad to having no control, right? I don't have control, therefore I'm less likely to randomly miss, but I don't have control, so I'm also more likely to just randomly hit things that I don't want to. Kind of wanted to shoot that. I feel like in the past, yeah, those things had something inside them. I think it did there. All right, shields from damage when acted. High area scaling on the axe. But I don't know. The King Bible thing was good last time. I'm being boring. We're just gonna do it. I will say that right now these enemies are just kind of walking at me. So that doesn't really seem to be too special one way or the other. I do strongly wish that I was able to choose where I guess I have a flamethrower now, which is cool. Definitely mowing through some stuff here. Get some treasure. So we found a treasure both times. That's a flamethrower was great. I'm assuming it's a flamethrower. I picked up something off the ground. We're leveling up the King Bible in the treasure again, so that's definitely something we're seeing. Done. I'm just Chaos Incarnate in this, it feels like. Damage inflicted by 10% seems good. So let's do that first. That's all damage, so I've been getting other weapons and things of that nature. Should be able to take care of it with that. Yeah, extra Bibles out. Kind of just walk into things. But walking into things doesn't... Again, since I can't really control where I'm shooting, it's hard not to want to play defensively, but I get greedy, and I really want all the experience that I'm leaving up there. Because I don't feel like I actually level at all unless I go up here and collect it, right? It's not like I'm just getting things. It's awkward because I'm not really leaving the Bible out in a way that they can always get it. Oh, that again. So that is craziness. That's so many. Let's see if I can just kind of like get those Bibles to hit it off to the side. This is a lot more bats than I would expect. Alright, we got another level up. Cooldown reduced by 0.2 seconds. That seems like a fair amount. More damage up by 10%. Also seems good. I'm really struggling here. I sit like a child, so I was sitting on my feet when we started this video. We're just gonna take the 10% damage again. I probably should have taken the... Whoa! That damages you real fast to walk into things. I should know that. Should expect that, I guess. Question is, does it shoot the thing that's closest to me or not? I can't really tell, in all honesty. I'm just bad at this, guys. Skeletons! And more of these guys. Doesn't really feel like I'm apt to getting a ton stronger. Let's see if I can kill the skeleton. I'd like to level up to at least level 6 here. We've definitely done better than we did the first time. And we didn't really unlock anything, so... Okay, so now we see what this hollow heart was that we unlocked earlier. Augments my max health by 20%. So I think that's going to be terrible right about now. My max health isn't really going to help me when I'm practically dead. Alright, cut that way ahead of me. I changed my mind on the whip. It does a lot of damage, it seems like. I'm just gonna, like, slowly walk ahead. Looks like a money. Or we're just gonna aim backwards, get greedy, pick up some of that. Now this map... Again, I don't know anything about the map, right? I feel like I'm just, like, constantly walking straight ahead. And I don't know if they're... I don't know if that's infinite, right? Can I just walk straight ahead in perpetuity? Or what? I also have zero idea if this is, like, the right strategy, right? I'm just kind of wondering. Oh, no, I think it's a circle, because I feel like I remember seeing this area earlier. Now, it doesn't mean it is. So I wonder if I can kind of, like, kite these guys around. Go up and down on them. Those ghosts are... I don't have a plan here. The real problem is I don't have a plan. I will say that we keep adding new bad creatures or whatever it happens to be, but it doesn't really seem to be changing much. Meaning, they look different. They don't seem to really do anything different from my basic impression here. Oh, I think I'm gonna die here. Oh, that's cool. It does, yep, looks like I'm gonna die. So, we ended up getting ringed by a bunch of flowers. That's an odd thing to die to. We've got a bunch of man-eating flowers and some zombies coming in there. Most of the behavior seemed very, very similar across the board. Like all the enemies were just rushing straight at me, coming to my face, but none of them were particularly fast, nor do I move particularly fast. I can't dodge. I can't really do much outside of that. So definitely interesting. Unlocked some wings here. Let's see what kind of progression we have. So we got 200 money. I didn't mind that girl. I wouldn't mind playing her again. It looks like we could afford some might or some recovery, so we could be recovering some HP throughout that. Can't decide if what we would want to do is... Whoa, that's a lot. Move speed. Move speed would be huge. I feel like move speed is almost worth like being the thing that you save up for. So I'm actually not going to buy anything here because move speed looked like it was at 300. We're just going to go with that. Now, my question is, so if I like put my cursor, will it always go towards my cursor, or is it just going towards the closest thing to me? And that's what I'm not sure about. Okay, it's just going towards the closest thing to me. Because I can go up, and it doesn't change where I'm shooting. We somewhat kind of have to like flirt with what we're wanting here. Okay, so nothing in here actually helps me. I was hoping that area was kind of unique and interesting. It looks cool from a map perspective, right? Like it's definitely different. We can just really double down on this magic wand. Shoot it faster and faster and faster. Probably should have gotten at the axe. We haven't tried that yet. But I'm liking this lazy mode here where I don't have to actually shoot anything. We're just walking around picking up some crystals, making everything happy. Some little baby bats here. I do feel like I'm getting slightly better at the circles, or at the like the cadence of things, right? And also knowing that like the whole thing's a circle, I don't feel as much of a need to just gather up every single power up. I also feel like I'm able to stay a little bit closer to things. I'm a little stressed out here. I probably may have overdone it just a tad bit. Got it. Fires quickly in the face direction. We're just gonna upper damage. More damage. More damage, same weapon. Keep everything happy. My weapon does seem to push things back very slightly as well. We're getting... Oh, bad time. Almost didn't dodge the mass of bats. Just gonna get out of that area real quick. Oh, I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm bad. Bad. We're doing really good up until that point. All of a sudden, we just got eaten by those guys. Wall of bats. It actually doesn't seem to be a very big map. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah. Okay, so we're definitely right back up into that. It's definitely not very large because we were just here. Now it does seem like those crystals, those experience crystals, don't necessarily last on the map forever. But I feel like I left some other ones right there, and they're not like still there, right? And maybe they're there, they're just higher up, and I forgot exactly where I left them. I also wonder how much of that horde of bats joined this one, like that fast flying horde of bats. Character moves 10% faster. That seems wonderful. Yeah, that's definitely wonderful. Even 10% is huge, or feels huge here. I feel like, yeah, we're gonna edge around here. We're gonna gather up all this experience. It's gonna put us somewhat back ahead of the curve, as far as like I might actually be able to get a level, get some peace, peace and quiet here. I might also be able to like pseudo kite them temporarily. We are trying to kite them. We can get them to clump up, fire into the clump, and then steal the experience from there. Like that's what we're going for, right? We are trying to get them killed, though. We're definitely not trying to... We're not trying an avoidance strategy. I thought we were going to try an avoidance strategy. That's definitely what I had initially planned. But that actually seems like that would be detrimental to the long-term plan of the game. Not because running away and not dying isn't good, right? We all want to not die. I think what I really mean is that detrimental to the goal of the game being that it ended up ringing us with all those flowers and things, and it just doesn't seem like we're going to be able to successfully get away with it if that's the case. Oh, can we dodge enough? We cannot. We took some damage there. We really 90% of the damage that we have taken though did come from that one interaction we had with the bats. Until that point where we played poorly there. So we're somewhat consistently getting to level 5 now. We need to remember where these things are. That's one of the things that I think we're doing a little poorly. We're just not really remembering where we drop these things as we are kiting. So we probably have a whole level here. Just tied up, and we might not actually even be able to get it because we're gonna get caught here. Oh no, is that a praying mantis? I just got killed by a praying mantis. Adorable. I don't know if that was better or worse than last time. Magic wand only. Survived 5 minutes and 13 seconds. So early on, if you're surviving more than about 5 minutes or so, you are just killing it. And we made virtually no money there, which is such a bummer. So we're going to go ahead and start again, but I don't want you guys to have to watch the exact same thing. So let's go ahead and do Pascalina. Projectiles get 10% faster every 5 levels, max 30%. I'm going to assume that these particular characters are all reasonably similar powered. It's actually possible that Antonio is the most powerful since you're starting with him, and like these other things, I'm actually making it harder on myself. It's hard to say, but we're going to start with that. They have they're very similar powers, and so it's just everything gains 10% more. This one should level fastest. This one should do the most damage, but it's probably kind of the hardest to hit, and this one should just be the most like, oh, chaos projectiles. Oh, they bounce. I like that already. Again, the ability to aim these would be wonderful because they seem to do a ton of damage. You know, we haven't done the axe yet. Let's do the axe. It's very slow. And it's also just like kind of missing. But it seems to like come out of me and then fall off the screen. So that's interesting. It almost like leaves a bomb. We haven't done Santa Water either, so let's do Santa Water and see what that does. Creates... Okay, it just kind of falls in randomly. Is there a way to see how that triggers? Because like the axe goes up and then down. So part of me thinks that I should be going up on the screen. That way I can make all those axes fall through everything. Somewhat working from that perspective. It is killing a lot of the stuff below me. The problem being that I just can't get down to it. This projectile is much, much, much slower than the ones we had on the last character. And so I think I'm just kind of struggling to kind of get to it. It is nice to kill those things with the little fires on them. We've been able to find some good stuff there. We're going to see if we can make our way back down to this one. Or if we can find all that experience we left up here. Because I think that would level us up and would make such a huge difference if we were able to level. Or if we were able to get that. It's probably worth taking damage to level here. I may have lied. I don't know if it was worth it. That was half my death that we got. Just to level that up. We're kind of stuck in this plan now, though. Can't get out. Can't get out. We did leave a lot of experience below, so we're hoping we can get that level up. It does seem that I'm healing as well somehow, so I either picked up a healing item, weapon, something that I'm not aware of, or leveling up. I could just have more percentage of health than I had earlier. One more projective, base area up by 20%. The Bible was so good, but I'm kind of liking the random kills. They also seem to create these like zones of control that I can kite things into. I do like that as well. I'd love this weapon from a damage perspective. It's just so slow in this triggering that I feel I have no overall control over it. So if I could continue to level up my own weapon, it also just doesn't seem to always go to the thing that's closest to me. So like the other weapon where I started to like hug downwards, and it would go to something close to me, this doesn't seem to be doing so. It's also bouncing off the roads, maybe? So really it's just kind of consistency sake that I feel like I'm missing here. Axe fires more projectiles, or we can get 10% move speed again. We're gonna do that. I like being able to move faster. I think it really makes up for a lot of the issues that I potentially have in my playstyle here. Pick up all this experience if we can. And get ourselves up to level 7. And we can! I think that may be the largest we've gotten here. Continue to up our base damage of the Rune Tracer. Effect lasts longer. The effect just being it bouncing around the screen, I assume. So we'll go with that. It's probably going to be our last run before we give our first thoughts. Rune Tracer. Yeah, let's just take it. Let's not belabor the point here. Just get it going. Can we survive? We are leveling faster on this character, which I find interesting. It just means I am doing a lot more killing with this character. It has to. Because as we know, that other character's entire benefit was that it is supposed to level faster. It gets additional experience per 10% per level. Which should, I thought, have made up a huge difference and would have made me a much higher level with that character. But it doesn't seem to. It just seems that this one has such a difference in raw killing power that we're actually able to make a big difference. Because we're nearing level 8 here. And we have not... we're actually going to succeed to get to level 8. Raises inflicted damage by 10%. That's a real struggle. I don't feel like I'm killing things. I think we're just going to get more projectiles, more things out there. None of the things I'm doing feel weak. They just feel... Yeah, see, I don't actually have that many enemies in here with me anymore. Comparative to what I've had in the past. It's actually possible we make it out of this. Now, the question is, have I actually survived longer? And I think the answer is yes. This is a power-up I've never seen before, so we're gonna touch that. Seems to have just frozen time here, so we're gonna avoid that. This chicken healed me. Just making huge strides all of a sudden. We have more movement speed, or we can have additional damage on the axes. I'm gonna choose more movement speed here. Really enjoying the ability to pick up this experience. I think I'm recommending movement speed. That 10% is very noticeable. It's not necessarily enough. I'm not saying like it takes care of all your ills or all your worries, but it's very noticeable. Another power-up that I've never seen before. Oh, I have seen it before. At the time, I don't think I actually saw it. It was one of those things that when I picked up the flamethrower last time, it probably dropped while I was in the middle of just a cluster of a bunch of stuff. We'll go ahead and take the whip just because it is one more source of damage. I'm not saying the armor isn't good, but typically when I've gotten trapped, the issue has been more that I haven't been able to cut a hole to escape from. Then it's like, oh, I'm just taking too much damage. Like I don't think I want to be stuck in a horde of enemies, right? Even if I can tank some of the damage, I don't think that's my ideal scenario. Getting bats back again. I'm surprised we're getting bats back. I will say that, and I said this earlier, it feels as if the majority of the enemies have the same path, same triggers. They don't necessarily do anything differently. They're varying speeds, they have varying clusters, but they all just kind of come at you. I think it's also important to note that while this is a roguelike game, we've still not purchased anything other than the new characters. I wouldn't think the new characters are necessarily a lot more powerful, just that they play differently, but I could be wrong. And invariably, some of the playstyles, i.e. the ranged playstyle, was very easy comparatively to me. So we've got new achievements here, and we've reached level 10. We've moved through a bunch of things. We've now hit 30 minutes. We're at 31 minutes. We want to keep ourselves honest here. I'm not going to do a whole lot else. I wasn't really able to show you many of the unlocks or anything. What I'm going to say for this, for the good, I was engaged 100% the entire time. It always felt, to me, like something was happening that I needed to think about, that I needed to have my full attention to. My character never moved as fast as I really wanted him to, even if I bought all the speed upgrades. And so it was very engaging. I like that there are a lot of achievements and unlocks to do here. I like bullet hell or dodgy type games. Now, what's the downsides here? In the exact same way that I always felt that things were furtive and that I moved too slow, I felt that things just moved too slow. I wasn't really doing a whole lot of active dodging in the way, like I had no dodge rolls. Not being able to aim my weapons, basically just having all of my weapons fire for me, inherently like felt like it took away some player agency for me. So I think I would have preferred to be able to turn and whip strike, or trigger the Bible to come out from me, or trigger the bouncing thing. And if I chose to always fire it straight behind me, or chose to always fire it straight above me, or something of that nature, I think that's something that would have added more strategic depth to it. Instead of basically all I'm doing is running away and trying to get my little breadcrumbs of experience when I can. I'm looking forward to playing it more. This one gets a big but from me in that, although I'm looking forward to playing it more, I don't really know how much of a difference the unlocks are going to make other than true just power scaling. So invariably just making me do more damage, and thus I can last longer because of that. But not that they are going to change the gameplay. And I personally think that if they're not going to change the gameplay, that this one, it's probably going to be something that is kind of completed. Like you're going to hit a point where it becomes easy, and then it's going to kind of lose its interest. That being said, it doesn't mean you shouldn't play it, and I am looking forward to moving on to the rest of the review. So I'll see you then.